But TikTok is priority, so I will be focused on you guys, but I am just gonna let them kind of tune in as well. Let's see. Okay. So like I said, on this live, we talk about reconnecting with your real hair and establishing a healthy hair care routine so that you can reach your hair care goals. I know there's a lot of information out there, a lot of products out there, a lot of different methods, all the things. And if you are somebody who want to start wearing your natural hair more, or you just want to take better care of your hair, um, I know you might feel confused, you might feel a little intimidated, but my goal is to clear up a lot of the confusion, give you hope back, because I know some of y'all have given up hope, and just leave you with a new mindset, a new routine so you know what to do, and then also some products. If you don't want to go out and try to piece together products hoping that they work, we have products here for you too. And so, with that being said, I'll go ahead and get into my whole rundown. I don't know how much time I have, so I'm trying to get through as much as I can pretty quickly. There's going to be a lot of information, so I suggest if you need to take notes, but just have an open mind, open heart, and just be ready to listen, okay? Feel free to chime in the chat. I do love crowd participation. So if you guys can chime in the chat if you're able to. Yeah, so with that being said, a little bit of background about me and how I got started on my natural hair journey, my healthy hair journey. I started transitioning into being natural many years ago. And at that time, it wasn't a lot of hair care products on the market for natural hair. And there wasn't a lot of people for me to look up to that had natural hair as well. So I really had to just figure it out. And so after years and years of trial and error, figuring things out, finding people, talking to people, I have found success. Thank you for the follows. I found success, and I want to share what worked for me with you all. This has also worked for a lot of people that I've helped as well. So I want to share the information with y'all. With that being said, if y'all could share out the live to at least 5 or 10 people you know who wants to start taking better care of their hair. I know everybody on here know at least one person that you ain't ever seen their real hair before, because they always got it in a sew-in. They always got it in some braids. Send this live to them, okay? They will definitely benefit from this information. But yeah, so I went live many years ago. Wasn't a whole lot of products and information out there. And so quite naturally, between the two textures, I was wearing protective styles, the sew-ins, the braids, all the things, trying to just let my hair grow out. I quite wasn't brave enough to do the big chop. And so I was just wearing the protective styles. And at this time, we were buying the bundles from Asia, from, India, which is in Asia, China, whatever. We had moved away from like the pack hair that you would get from the beauty supply store, and we were buying bundles. And so I was in college, and there was 2 Indian students on the shuttle with me. Me and my roommate was on the shuttle along with 2 Indian students. And like I said, at this time we were buying bundles from India. So I'm like, let's ask this girl like what she do with her hair, because she had beautiful long natural hair. And so we asked her like, hey girl, what are you using in your hair? What's your routine? She was very bothered, very annoyed, very dismissive. And we couldn't really understand why we got that response from her. But now looking back on it, maybe she was offended. I don't know. Maybe she was offended. It wasn't our intentions, but it is what it is. But that wasn't the issue. The issue was the Indian guy that was on the bus with, I'm not going to say with her, because I don't even think they were together. I think they just both happened to be Indian students. And so he chimes in the conversation with a big old chip on his shoulder saying, you black women don't like your hair, and that's why you have to wear our hair. Y'all just need to wear your own hair. Those girls donate their hair to the temple, they sacrifice it, and they don't even know that it's being sold for millions and billions of dollars. Y'all need to just wear your hair. Like, me and my roommate were just sitting on the bus, really taken aback, like, what? And so I'm listening to what he's saying, and I'm shocked because, to be honest, at least I know, I never really put too much thought into like how the hair was retrieved, where it came from, all the things, the root and the history of it. We wasn't worried about that. We was just worried about, is it good? Can it do a hold a curl? Is it soft? Like, do it stink? That's what we was worried about. So when he was saying this, I'm like, man, that's crazy. But then I didn't like his perception of black women. He said, black women, we don't like our hair, and we have to wear their hair and buy their hair to feel beautiful. And I didn't like that because I'm like, if this one Indian student is feeling that way, an Indian guy who I'm not even thinking they even worried about what we do with our beauty and hair and things like that, then what is the world's perception of black women in our hair? And that just rubbed me the wrong way. I hated that because I think partially deep down inside, it was a little bit of truth to that. Because when I looked at my own self, I felt most confident wearing a sew-in or wearing some braids or just adding hair into my hair. And so that was a real eye-opening experience. And I didn't like how I felt. I didn't like that perception. And so I made a conscious decision from there on to move away from the wigs, weaves, and braids, and just really learn to fall in love with my hair and my authentic self. And so shortly after that, I did go ahead and I did the big chop because fighting with the two textures is just too much. And so I went ahead and did the big chop, and I went on this journey to reconnect with my hair, fall in love with it, and just figure it out. Okay. I wanted to change. I wanted to prove him wrong. And so that's what I've been doing. And I want to help everyone who is interested in doing that same thing as well. Now, don't get me wrong, if you want to wear protective styles and things like that, go ahead. But my hope is that you don't feel dependent on them, okay? Let it be an option. Don't feel so dependent. So that's what I'm trying to help the girls do. Like, yes, you can wear sewing, but also you can show up in your natural hair just as confident. Okay. And so I did a big chop and I went on this natural hair journey and I'm figuring it out. Like I said, it wasn't a lot of people, wasn't a lot of products. I'm just stumbling through. And at a point, I got very stagnant. My hair, it just really became an afterthought. I was really big into skincare and makeup at the time. So that was my focus. But at a point, I got frustrated with my hair. I'm like, why is my hair not growing? Why is it like I'm so tired? I missed the length. Like I want to, it was different things that I wanted to do with my hair and I couldn't. And so I felt stuck and I felt frustrated. But I had a real sit down with myself and I said, girl, you mad about your hair saying that it's stagnant, you frustrated, but you don't have no type of hair care routine. You're not consistent. You don't have no good products. Like it's just an afterthought. So of course that's the results you're going to get. And so I made it a point to be intentional about establishing a healthy hair care routine because I was familiar with routines. I had a 9-10 step skincare routine. I had a whole full face makeup routine, but it's like when it came to my hair, crickets, nothing. And so I'm like, okay, I'm gonna establish a healthy hair care routine. We're gonna see what we can get. And once I put that intention out there, randomly, I started running into girls who had the hair that I wanted to have. Black girls who had long natural hair, waist length hair, bra strap length hair, just hair past their shoulders. Because at the time, mine was stuck at my collarbone forever. And so, of course, I'm asking the girls, what are you using? What are you doing? What's your hair care routine? Like, put me on, sis. And so they were all giving me the tea. And they were all pretty much saying the same thing across the board. I mean, their videos are randomly popping up on my YouTube channel. I'm running into them at my job. I'm working with them, all the things. And they're all saying the same stuff. And it was very different from everything I had learned and heard about taking care of my hair. And so the stuff they shared with me, I put it into practice and it worked out. And so I want to share that with y'all. Okay. And even though that was years ago, it's still, the information is still really not out there like that. And it blows my mind. And so now I'm out here trying to put the girls on because I know we're frustrated. I know we feel like we're on a never ending cycle. We feel like we're doing all the right stuff, buying all the right things, but we're still not getting to where we want to get with our hair care. And it's a lot of misinformation out there. So I'm going to clear it up for you. Again, you don't have to do what I'm telling you to do. Just use it, listen, and then do your own due diligence. But I'm giving you somewhere to start. Because I see all day long, I want to wear my natural hair. I want to wear my hair here. I don't know where to start. So I'm going to give y'all a place to start. So Number one, before I even get into the routine, because this is super important, you have to change your mindset when it comes to your hair. Like I said, a lot of people are frustrated, a lot of people are annoyed, a lot of people have just given up completely. And we love to disassociate with our hair. That's why it's so easy for us to put it up in a style and never look at it again. That's why it's so easy for us to not even want to do it ourselves. We don't even want to wash our hair. We don't want to do nothing to our hair ourselves. We always run into a stylist and somebody else. And so you have to just abandon that mindset and change your mindset, because if we talking about building a healthy relationship with our hair, you got to show up for your hair. Because if you were in a relationship with another human being and they never wanted to spend time with you, they never wanted to invest in you, they spoke negatively about you, said you weren't enough, they kept you hidden from your their friends and their family, you never got introduced to them because they keep you tucked up away, that's not a relationship that is healthy or thriving. That's not a relationship you would want to be in. And a lot of y'all are treating your hair that way. And you wondering why your hair is in the state that it's in. So we want to switch our mindset. Mindset shift number one. We want to have an abundant mindset when it comes to our hair, okay? That means no more negative self-talk. No more saying, oh, I can't stand my hair. I don't feel like doing my hair. My hair is dry. My hair don't grow. My hair is nappy. None of that, okay? None of that. When you think about your hair in a negative way like that, you'll start treating your hair like it's disposable. You'll start treating your hair like it's negative. And that is going to get you further and further away from reaching your hair care goals. So from now on, we speak life into our hair. We speak positivity into our hair. My hair grows abundantly. My hair is thriving. My hair is healthy. I love my hair. I'm grateful for my hair. All those things, okay? My hair is beautiful. I'm grateful for my hair because there's people out here who don't have hair. They're suffering from terminal illnesses and things like that, and they don't even have hair. So be grateful that you even have hair to complain about, okay? In whatever state your hair is in, you can get it to a better state. So just show appreciation and gratitude for it now, and then you will turn into the person, or subconsciously you'll start doing the things that you need to do to get there. So no more negative self-talk about your hair. And this is important. I talk about the mindset shift because I could teach you a routine, I could teach you products, but at the end of the day, if you don't change your identity and if you don't truly believe that you can grow your hair and maintain it healthy on your own, then you will fall off eventually. You will not be consistent. You won't prioritize your wash days. You won't restock on your good products when they run out. And you'll still go back to the negative self-talk and you'll just keep going on in the cycle. So we have to shift our mindset. All right. Thank y'all. See y'all in the comments. I appreciate you. And so mindset shift number two, we have to have thinking of your hair as a plant. Okay. Think of your hair as a plant. I didn't realize how dry my hair actually was. I just thought that that was my hair. I thought my hair was frizzy. I thought it was kinky. I thought it was felt like straw after I washed it. All the things. Silk presses didn't last. It would puff up at the first sign of moisture. It was unpredictable and uncooperative. And I didn't realize it was all of those things just because it was begging for moisture. It was dehydrated until somebody told me, you got to think of your hair as a plant, okay? When you think of your hair as a plant, plants have to be watered every couple of days sometimes. So your hair needs water. Water is the only thing that can truly moisturize and hydrate your hair. Your hair needs the water. So when you think of your hair as a plant, you'll be mindful every couple of days to water your hair. Okay. Also with plants, you got to trim off the dead pieces of the plant. Trim off your dead ends. Okay. I don't care how long it is. If it's split, cut it off, because you're really just working backwards. You're going to have to keep starting over. Okay. You can't repair a split end. Once it's split, it's going to continue to split all the way up the hair shaft unless you nip it in the bud. Okay. So get the dead ends off. And again, with having an abundant mindset, we don't care about trimming our dead ends because we know our hair is going to grow back fuller, healthier, faster once we get all the dead, damage, breakage off and out the way. Okay. So that's mindset shift number two. Think of your hair as a plant. Mindset shift number three. Think of your strands as silk, okay? Silk is expensive. Silk is very delicate. We want to think of our hair strands in that way because although we have very coarse hair, we might have thick hair, it might be curly, it might be kinky, it's still the most fragile hair type of them all. So we have to treat it very gently, okay? Be patient, take your time, and be gentle. because this is how you're going to significantly decrease the amount of mechanical breakage and damage that you're causing to your hair. And that's super important on our healthy hair care journey and reaching our hair care goals. Okay, so now that we got the mindset shifts out the way, before I even move on, I put some confetti in the chat if you now commit to no more negative self-talk and having an abundant mindset when it comes to your hair. Okay, put some confetti emojis in the chat if you commit to no more negative self-talk about your hair and also just having an abundant mindset when it comes to your hair. Thank y'all for the follows. Thank you for the likes. I appreciate it so much. The shares. Thank you. Thank you. Anybody committing to no more negative self-talk and having an abundant mindset? I don't see no emojis in the chat. Where y'all at? Where y'all at? I know I'm not the only one. Lodi says, I am in my hair growth journey and I love when I let my natural hair out. Yes. I love that for you, Queen. See, y'all can experience that same love and joy and freedom of just letting your natural hair out. Okay. I'm just going to, thank you. Okay, so let's go ahead and get into what the girls were telling me about how they were able to achieve long, healthy, beautiful, natural hair that they took care of on their own. Because all the girls I was talking to, they were taking care of their hair on their own. They weren't really going to a stylist, maybe to go get it trimmed. But other than that, they were taking care of their hair on their own. And so how frequently you have to wash the hair? Great question, Bodie. We are going to get into that. And that brings me to my first question. If you have ever heard, or how many people have ever heard that washing your hair too much will dry it out? If you've ever heard that, put Bodie. Okay. Yes. So, excuse me. I don't know where that came from. But yes, growing up, we've always heard that washing our hair too much will dry it out. But just like I said earlier, water is the only thing that can truly moisturize and hydrate. Okay, thank you, user. Thank you, Diane. Thank you. Okay, so we're not the only ones. Like I said, water is the only thing that can truly moisturize and hydrate the hair. And on wash day, your hair is exposed to maximum hydration and moisture and water. So how could that possibly dry our hair out? It doesn't make sense when you think about it. And that's exactly why the girls were telling me that they were washing their hair once a week. Okay. Mostly on Sunday. Some did a Saturday wash day, but a lot of them said Sundays for some reason. But yeah, maybe self-care Sunday. I don't know. But yeah, washing their hair on a weekly basis. Okay. Now, at the time, I didn't even have half as much hair as they had. And I was pushing wash day off for days and days and weeks at a time because it was such a painful experience. It would take me all day. Detangling would have my arms so sore. I would lose so much hair. It'd be hair all over the shower, all over the bathroom. It was hot, steamy. I'm ready to pass out. It was just not an enjoyable experience. And so I pushed it off as long as I could. On top of, in the back of my head, I'm thinking, well, if I wash it too often anyways, it's going to dry it out. No, that is a lie. That's lie number one, actually. Washing your hair too much will dry it out. No. You want to do a weekly wash day, okay? A weekly wash day because one, when they told me they were washing their hair every single week, I started to do it. And then the second thing they told me was deep condition your hair every single week too, right? And so, and they also said stop using cheap products because cheap products are full of fragrance and water and toxic chemicals. So stop using cheap products, invest in good quality hair care. It makes a difference. And that was cool because I was using top of the line skincare, makeup, and things like that. So I'm like, okay, it makes sense. But yeah, so I started to wash my hair and deep condition my hair on a weekly basis. Despite me like not wanting to, I'm like, I have to do what they're telling me to do because they have the results that I want. I'm washing my hair on a weekly basis basis. And what did I notice? I noticed my hair, my wash days became easier. They became faster. I lost less hair during the detangling process, and my hair cooperated and looked better. Even the texture changed, and it just became way more easier to manage. And I couldn't believe it, but I could because I'm like, well, obviously, like it makes sense because if they're doing this on a weekly basis, it has to be easy for them. You know what I'm saying? So what happens is the more days you let go in between your wash day, the drier, the weaker, the brittle your hair becomes. The more matted, the more tangled, the more knotted it becomes. So then when you get to wash day on hair that's in that state, of course it's going to be a hot mess because you've let your hair get too far gone. The cool thing about having a weekly wash day, your hair don't have all that time to get super, super dry and brittle and matted and tangled. And so when you go into the wash day, it's just it's easy, it's fast. Your hair ain't super dehydrated because you just had wash day. Hopefully you're moisturizing it throughout the week, but even if you aren't, you still, got them 7 days before you expose your hair to maximum moisture and hydration again. And so it made sense. So I encourage y'all, if you are not doing a weekly wash day, try it out. Your hair is going to be super healthy. It's going to thrive. It's going to love you for it. I'm even seeing girls now who are washing their hair even more frequently than that. I haven't gotten to that point yet, and I don't know if I will. But um, yeah. So a weekly wash day. Try it out. On top of washing your hair on a weekly basis, exposing your hair to the maximum moisture on a weekly basis, deep conditioning on a weekly basis is a game changer when it comes to retaining length. And let me tell you why. And this brings me to lie number 2. We have been programmed to think that we have a hair growth problem as Black women. We've been programmed to think we have a hair growth problem. No, nobody ever told us you have a hair growth problem specifically. They just sell us all the hair growth oils and the hair growth products. They sell us all the long wigs and weaves and bundles because they know we can't achieve that on our own. And so we over here thinking that we have an issue with growing our hair. And so we're buying all these hair growth products, we're massaging our scalp and doing all of these things, and it is not giving us the results that we want. And let me tell you why. Your hair, you don't have a hair growth problem. Now, let me say this clearly. If you have hair on your head, you don't have a hair growth problem, okay? If your hair has been stuck at the same length or it won't grow past a certain point, you feel like it's not getting longer, that's not a hair growth problem. That is a length retention problem. Okay, so you putting hair growth oil on your scalp and massaging your scalp is not going to help that process. Okay, and so what happens is this is why it feels like we might have hair growth problem compared to white people, Asian people. We all as humans produce oil in our scalp. It's called sebum. And so what happens, the oil starts at our scalp, it comes to our root, and it travels down the hair shaft. So when people with straight hair, that oil travels all the way down the hair shaft, all the way to the ends. And this is why their hair get greasy faster. They have to wash it very often. That's why, because that oil is just traveling down. It's producing, it's traveling down, traveling down. Now, what happens in our type hair, people with type 3, 4 hair, kinky curly hair that grows towards the sun, the oil starts in the scalp just like everybody else's, but it just can't travel all the way down the hair shaft because it's too many exit points. Every single curl is an exit point. It's fighting against gravity. And so what happens is the ends of our hair, which is the oldest part of the hair, are left out to dry. They are exposed. There's no lubrication there, no nothing there, no nothing. The oil doesn't reach there, so they dry out, they become brittle, and they split and they break off. And that process is happening just as fast as the hair growth is coming out of your head. So you don't have a hair growth problem. You have a length retention problem. Your hair is growing out of your head just as fast as everybody else's, but it's breaking off just as fast as well. And newsflash, nobody or nothing can grow your hair. Your body grows your hair, and it doesn't really need help. I mean, you have to have like a balanced diet and supplements and things like that if you need to. But for the most part, your body grows your hair, so it doesn't need your help doing that. The only thing it really needs you to do is keep your scalp clean. But other than that, it doesn't, it can grow your hair. What your hair needs help with is keeping it from breaking off at the ends, okay? And this is what we're going to focus on. So, this is why I said the deep conditioning on a weekly basis was a game changer for the length retention, because as we mentioned before, the ends of our hair are the oldest, most driest, most weakest, fragile part of the hair. It's the part of the hair that needs the most support. It needs the most TLC. It needs the most attention. And that's what a great deep conditioner does on a weekly basis. Something with some hydrolyzed protein in it that's going to strengthen it and add elasticity to your strands to keep it from snapping and breaking off. We want our hair to be bendable. We want it to be flexible. We want to be able to style and manipulate our hair without it snapping and breaking off. And that's what that does on a weekly basis. Get your ends trimmed. Don't trim your ends on a weekly basis. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying to start your journey, trim the dead ends off, the split ends off, and then be intentional about adding moisture and all the things to your ends. And that includes using a good deep conditioner on your ends weekly. It is going to be a game changer. If you can't do nothing else from this live, if you don't take nothing else from the live, start deep conditioning your ends with something really good. We'll get into ingredients and what you should use. But deep conditioning your ends on a weekly basis is going to be a game changer for length retention. Okay? So you could stop focusing up here and doing all the things up here. Leave your scalp alone. Okay? Focus on your ends. That's what needs your attention. Okay, so now that we know we are washing and deep conditioning on a weekly basis, let me get into a couple little tips and tricks, just little things that would help you maintain healthy hair, keep your hair hydrated, keep it from breaking off. One, we don't use towels anymore. Cotton towels are very drying, okay? They dry your hair out, they pull, they snag. Use a t-shirt, okay? You don't even gotta go get a hair towel. Just start using a t-shirt to dry your hair, okay? It's soft. It's not gonna overly dry your hair. It's not gonna pull and snag. Use a big soft t-shirt. Everybody got a free triple XL t-shirt that they got free from a contest or from work or something. Use that to dry your hair. Also, you want to make sure you are sleeping in a satin scarf or a satin bonnet, and sleep on a satin pillowcase too, because that's going to help not just your hair but your skin as well. Cotton is very drying, and what happens when you dry your skin out, you dry your hair out, it causes premature aging. So we don't want that. So keep your hair protected in a satin or silk bonnet or pillowcase. Get your ends trimmed regularly. Now, you'll have to pay attention to your hair and see how often you need to trim your ends. I know some people say every 6 weeks. Some people say every 12 weeks. Some people say whatever. You just have to start and then pay attention to what your hair needs, and you'll figure out what your cycle is. It makes a big difference, y'all. I know once our hair start to get the grown, we start retaining that length, we just get attached and we don't want to let it go. But you have to trim your ends, because or else it's going to continue to split and break, and you're going to have to start over eventually. So trim your ends. Another thing, and this is super important, a lot of people don't want to hear this. I know a lot of people not going. Sorry, y'all got a call. But a lot of people are not going to want to hear this, but I have to be completely honest, because a lot of the lies out here is what's causing y'all to stay stuck. And so this brings me to lie number 3. Protective styles, y'all. The knotless braids, the sew-ins, these are not protective styles. Anytime you add extra hair into your hair, you're causing extra weight on your hair follicle. Hold on, y'all. I'm sorry. You're causing extra weight on your hair follicle. You're also adding extra traction and tension. Hold on, y'all. Hold on. Hello? I'm on live right now. Sorry.
Okay. All right.
Everything okay?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I'll call you back.
All right.
Okay, sorry, y'all. Anytime you're adding extra hair into your hair, it's causing extra weight on your hair follicle. It's causing extra tension and traction on your hair and on your scalp. And then we're coming to find out that a lot of the hair that we're using has toxic chemicals in it, along with all these type of microfibers that actually saw at your hair and cause it to weaken and break. So that is not a protective style. And even on top of that, a lot of us put these protective styles in and leave them in for weeks and months at a time, and we're not cleansing our scalp regularly. We're not moisturizing our hair, and we're definitely not able to access the ends of our hair to keep them moisturized and hydrated. And so when you take styles out, you tend to have excessive shedding and breakage when you take them out because your hair is just has been neglected all this time. And so if you are super serious about wanting to increase your density, increase the health and manageability of your hair, and retain length, I urge you for the rest of the year, because we only got what 5 months left, and five months is plenty of time, by the way. I urge you to do true, real protective styles, which are low tension styles on your natural hair. These are things like mini braids, mini twists, or two-strand twists, flat twists, cornrows. You can do braid outs, twist outs, things like that, wash and goes, things like that for the next 5 months, for the rest of the year. And you will be so amazed and happy with your results that you get by the end of the year. Our hair grows about a half an inch every single month. So when you're following all the right steps, you get your ends trimmed, you're following the right steps, being consistent and kind and gentle and protecting your hair and all the things, every half inch should be stacking, stacking, stacking all the way down your hair. So if we could do a half an inch every year for the next rest of the year, what, 6 months, 5 months, that's at least like 2.5 inches you should be able to get by the time the year is over. Okay, so imagine being in a totally different space this time by the end of the year, even this time next month, because it doesn't even take that long for you to notice the change. I have people getting results in 3 to 4 months, 4 to 5 months, 6 months. Major change. I wish I could show you. Oh, I got a screenshot, but y'all can go. I didn't post a video to my page because I didn't post the video, but hold on, I'm about to show y'all something. This was from, what do you say, August to June. So however many months that is. Sorry, y'all, I'm not good at math. But yeah, look at this difference. And this is a guy. And yes, guys can use these products as well. If y'all can see, I know it's a screenshot, but you see where he was in August of last year and then where he is in June. Not even a whole year, y'all. Look at them curly, luscious curls. Look at that length. You see what some consistency can do with some good products? Consistency is key. I'll show you another one that's probably a little bit easier to see. Hold on. Okay, here we no, that's not. That is one, but I'm gonna show you even a more recent of her progress. That was the first progress. Here we go. So this was 4 months. 4 months from a straight pixie to now she got some hang time in the back. Just being consistent. And I know some of y'all been stuck at the same length for years. But just imagine where she was at just 4 months. So imagine where you would be at. But with that being said, let me go ahead and get into the actual routine because we haven't even like talked about that yet. I just wanted to give y'all some background so y'all know what to do and how to do it and everything like that. So I know most of you, if you're paying attention, you see the bundle that is pinned to the bottom of the screen right now. It is called the Ceremony Mini Hair Care Starter Bundle. Now, over here, we call wash day the ceremony because remember, wash day used to be something that I dreaded, something that I did not enjoy. But once I got the right tools, the right information, the right knowledge, and I put it into practice and I started getting the results, my wash day turned from something that I dread into what now I call this ceremony because it is just that. It's a time for me to honor myself, honor my hair, pour back into me, self-care, self-love, all the things because life is hard and we go through a lot. So anytime you have a chance to pour back into you, take advantage of it. And being able to do my hair and see the results, see the transformation, see the length, see the manageability, the predictability, see my silk presses actually lasting because my hair ain't so dehydrated, it is all worth it, and it's something that I look forward to and that I feel inspired to do on a consistent basis because I see all my efforts paying off. And so now we call it the ceremony, and we have a product bundle to go along with the ceremony because it's a lot of products out there. It's a lot of confusion, and all products are not created equal. What I've learned, a lot of products are created just strictly for marketing purposes. They want to say that it's this and that, but when you look at the ingredients, it's not that at all. And that's why you use certain things and you don't get the results that you think you should get. Even we talk so much about deep conditioner. There's a lot of hair mask and deep conditioner on the market that's full of heavy silicones, dimethicone. So yeah, when you put it in your hair while you're in the shower, it feels good. It feels soft. It gives you so much slip, all the things. But dimethicone is just a heavy silicone that just builds up on your hair. It's not water soluble, so it ain't just washing out. You have to really shampoo that out. And so what that does when it builds up on your hair, it ends up blocking out true moisture. So that's why you can use something like that and it feel good in a moment, but then over time your hair just feels dry, 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 dry. That's why. So all products are not created equal. You have to pay attention to ingredients. On top of ingredients, you got to make sure it doesn't have any harmful chemicals in it that's causing hormone disruption, endocrine disruption, cancer, all the things, because we know that a lot of the products marketed to us, that's what they're filled with. Okay. So you got to be mindful of all of that. The bundle that I have pinned, the ceremony wash day bundle, is all natural, it's non-toxic, it doesn't have any cancer causing ingredients, nothing that's going to disrupt your hormones or throw your endocrines off, none of that. Okay. And it's formulated to actually help the health of your hair over time. A lot of products, especially salon quality products, are formulated to just make you feel good right there in the chair, right there in the moment. But it's not actually doing anything for the health of your hair over time. So it's important. But this bundle was really meant to give you exactly what you needed to be consistent and take back your power of taking care of your hair right at home, thriving, healthy hair right at home. Okay. So we give you everything you need. And this is the routine. In every order, no matter if you get the full size bundle or the starter bundle, because what I have pinned right there, that is just like an intro bundle. Think of it almost like a sample bundle. Okay. They're travel sizes. So everything is under 3 ounces, but it's still enough for you to get a couple washes and try it out. And so, but even if you get that, you still get the wash day instructions, which is this is what I'm going to use to go over the routine because I know this might be a little overwhelming for some people, especially if you just used to shampoo and conditioner. Um, then yeah, but you get a wash day instruction card with every order. Okay, these are the full sizes, but you can correlate, the full size to the mini size, so you know exactly what you need to do. And so, with that being said, let's talk about what our wash day looks like and what the actual routines and step is. Okay, so first and foremost, before we step in the shower, we want to do something called a pre-poo to our hair. If you know what a pre-poo is, let me know in the chat. If you know what a pre-poo is, let me know let me know in the chat. If you don't, it's okay because we're gonna talk about it. I just want to see like where we're at. Let me see. I'm gonna go change the picture. Yeah, if you know what pre-poo is, let me know in the chat. Also, you can use it on your kids for the new moms. The babies have that patchiness in the back. Use it on your kids. This was a 3-month difference, okay? She went from bald and patchy, and in 3 months, you see her curls filled in really nicely, and hair is moisturized. Okay, it doesn't seem like anybody knew what a pre-poo is. So let me go into a pre-poo. Pre-poo is exactly what it sounds like. It's a pre-shampoo treatment. And what it does is just to soften the hair, rehydrate it, and add slip so that it's easier to manage and so that you significantly decrease the amount of shedding and breakage that you have during your wash day and during your detangling process. When I tell y'all, this makes a world of difference, okay? It speeds up your detangling time and it decreases the amount of breakage and shedding that you have. And my favorite thing as of lately to pre-poo with is flaxseed gel. And that's something that you can make right at home. Get you some flax seeds. They're not even expensive. I got a bag from Aldi's for like probably $3-4. But get you some flax seeds. You just boil them and then strain them, and it makes a gel. You got to keep it refrigerated though, because ain't no preservatives in it. But it is amazing. It adds so much slip. It rehydrates the hair. Oh, it's so amazing. Now, if y'all add this step to your wash day, you will see how your hair benefits from it. Now, you don't have to use flaxseed gel. You can use a conditioner. You could use a leave-in conditioner. You can use oil. Just put something on your hair to soften it, so it's easier to manage, to rehydrate it so it's not so brittle and weak, and to also give it some slip. That way it makes it easier to detangle, okay? So put that on your hair, let it sit a second, and then you can go in and detangle, and then go into your wash day. Next, when you go into your shower or wherever you about to wash your hair, don't just jump in, wet your hair for 2 seconds, and then grab shampoo and start putting shampoo in it. Let that water run through your hair for a good 3 to 5 minutes. Let the water run through your hair, y'all. It makes so much of a difference.